Hey, this is Learning Again with Truly Jacob, a writer. We're on our last letter. Yay! So, again, we've been going through Big Thoughts for Little People, Kenneth N. Taylor, by Kenneth N. Taylor, ABCs to Help You Grow. I have a drop in my mouth, so if I sound funny, that is why. Some people call it candy, others may call it medicine. So, again, last time we went over the letter Y in Proverbs 27:14. If you shout a pleasant greeting to a friend too early in the morning, he will count it as a curse. Again, they reference the Living Bible. It's a paraphrased Bible. There probably should be a kid's version. So, Proverbs 27, verse 14. If you shout a pleasant greeting to a friend too early in the morning, he will count it as a curse. That's pretty much word for word for verbatim. So I would say, for the most part, this book has followed what's the word I'm looking for? Scripture verbatim. But, they're wanting like a one sentence that fits on these 2 pages only. So they may take some of the scripture out, depending on the verse. So Z is for zebra, or zubo, or zoo. God made all the creatures, and he made you too. Do you know what a zoo is? It is a place where there are many, many kinds of animals and birds and snakes. There are even lions and tigers and bears. Have you ever been to a zoo? Yes. If so, you know how many kinds of animals there are. See if you can find some of them in the picture. Did you know that God made all these animals? God made the grass and the trees and the rocks and the animals, and he made you a very special person. So, again, people have given me tons of false information. So, did God make all the animals? Did the ones that always existed make all the animals, or beasts, or birds, or reptiles? What is the truth? Did the ones that always existed make it so, you can only have one form, or can you shapeshift and take on different forms? What is the truth? Right now, I'm stuck in one form only. So as far as I'm concerned, I only have one form right now. But my first memory was of losing my memory. So what is the truth? I do know this, that everyone around me who talks to me, they don't believe in the truth. They don't want to tell me the truth. And they're okay believing lies and misinformation. They may also be babbling like crazy, and they may not actually understand anything that they're saying, because there are wrong morals that they're teaching me, and they're blatantly saying it's okay, and what comes out of their mouth, they're completing sentences as they babble somehow. And so it's like, I don't actually know if they actually really believe this, or they're just really happy and they think it's really cool to babble, But what is the proper sound for the letter Z? It's because I say it as Z, right? Z sounds like it has a Z and an E in it, And then you have zoo. So is Z, but then it's like, why with the letter Z do I why can't I pronounce the letter Z by itself? A distinct sound. So I obviously don't have the proper sounds to all the different letters, because if you have the proper sounds to all the letters, then you'd be able to sound out every word correctly. and pronounce it correctly by combining two distinct letters together. And because I don't have the distinct letters, I can't sound out each word properly. And for some reason, everyone, when I talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, you talk fine. You don't need to get re-educated. Which, I'm getting to the point where I'm like tired of hearing these people. I'm tired of people talking to me. I'm tired of living with them because all they do is tell me false information, and it seems like they're very happy and content to babble and not understand a word that they say at all. So, is the zebra the form? Because that's the shape of a horse. And then people are like talking about horsepower as in like a vehicle. And so you're like, okay, is this the horse? Or like, why would you name this a horse? Why would you name this a zebra? Like, there's stripes, but black and white stripes, but like, why wouldn't you call that stripo or something? You know, why is it a zebra? I don't understand. So, and then this looks like it's made of wood. So this would be a toy striped horse figure. And a zebra to me looks like pretty much exactly the same form as a horse. So why are you calling a striped look for a horse a zebra? I don't know. Where are the zebras in the picture? Over here. And that's it. And there's a toy one. Which animals can children pet? Well, it seems like they're petting geese, goats, bunnies, maybe chickens. And I don't know, there's an elephant. And it looks like maybe that's a camel. I don't know. So it looks like those ones you don't pet. These ones you can for some reason, but geese never let me pet them. Who made all the animals? Well, this book says God, but I would say it's the ones that always existed, and whatever their real names really are. And they may have given people creative licenses where it's like, hey, if you want to discover, if you want to create different forms, you might be able to create different forms. I don't know. What's the truth? So, the Lord said, by my great power I have made the earth and all mankind and every animal. Jeremiah 27:5. So we're going to just do this because this is the last video. Jeremiah 27:5. By my great power I have made the earth and all mankind and every animal, and I will give these things of mine to anyone I want to. Okay. Well, that was added verses. So, about the author. Kenneth N. Taylor is best known as the translator of the Living Bible, but his first renown was a writer of children's books. Ken and his wife Margaret have 10 children, and his early books were written for the use in the family's daily devotions. The manuscripts were ready for publication only when they passed the scrutiny of these 10 young critics. The books, which you now been read to 2 generations of children around the world, include the Bible and the Pictures for Little Eyes, Moody Press, Stories for Little Children out of Moody Press, Taylor's Bible Story Book, Tyndall House. Now the Taylor children are all grown, so Big Thoughts for Little People was written with the numerous grandchildren in mind. And Ken Taylor is a graduate of Wheaton College and Northern Baptist Seminary. He is the founder and chairman of Tyndall House Publishers. He and Margaret live in Wheaton, Illinois. So Catherine E. Shoemaker has been a broad experience as an art teacher, curriculum specialist, filmmaker, and illustrator. Her Published works include 12 books, 8 film strips, illustrations for many magazine articles, and numerous education and service materials. She is a strong advocate of the involvement of parents in the local schools and spends a great deal of time as a volunteer in her children's school. Catherine is a graduate Immaculate Heart College in Los Angeles. She also studied at Cornard's Art Institute, Hodis Institute, and is a member of Society of Illustrators. She and her 2 children, Kristen and Andrew, who helped critique the illustrations for Big Thoughts for Little People, live in Vancouver, British Columbia. So, I don't know if their intention was to actually help teach you the proper sounds of the ABCs. They did not do that because they did not include an audio. So if someone babbles or speaks wrong, then they're going to teach you the wrong pronunciation. Does this teach you moral lessons? Well, if it doesn't actually teach you the real truth of the real names of the ones who always existed and their rules and their principles, then it's teaching you false moral lessons. So, what is the truth? So if you believe in a false religion, then this is gonna help you teach children the principles of this false religion on a broad and vague way, where you're supposed to care about everyone else and no one cares about you. There isn't a balance in there. But are there some good moral lessons in here? Probably if you look at every video. Yeah, it teaches you to be kind to other people, but you also need people to be kind back to you. So again, there's that balancing act, right? And they didn't go over that. They didn't address that. So a grandparent or a parent or an adult would have to bring that concept up to the children, and be like, well, I need to treat you with love and decency and respect. I need to care about you too. It's not a one-sided relationship, you know. So if the adults aren't doing the balancing act, then it's not gonna help a child become balanced, of like, this is how you love yourself, this is how you love other people, this is how you do both, right? So no, this does not help you teach you how to pronounce the alphabet or the letters of properly. It may teach some moral lessons. It does not have the balancing thing in there of loving yourself and loving others and respecting others and being able to respect yourself too. It doesn't teach you the principles if someone hurts you, what to do to get them to stop in a loving way so that you don't get hurt anymore and you can love yourself. So this book I would deem as, it's not really helpful for a child, a teenager, and an adult, because it's very, like, it could come across as, or it could be used as a tool to be like, it's your job as the child to love everybody else around you, and if that's all that people teach you, then it's like, well, if you try to love yourself, then people could be like, you're being selfish because you are concerned about what you need to eat for food and you need it to taste good and you're not thinking about other people, you know, like just eating food for yourself. People could twist it to be like, you're being selfish because you're loving yourself because you need to eat food or drink liquid or something like that. So be careful with the people around you. Be careful not to trust what the word of what everyone tells you. There needs to be perspective. It's okay to love yourself and love other people, and then if no one really loves you and is genuine when they love you, then it's like, I'm sorry, you're giving misinformation. You're just speaking lies. All that comes out of your mouth is lies or a bunch of babbling, you know. So that's what the conclusion I came to is this didn't actually help educate me at all. So it is what it is. But this would have been nice for, you know, an adult to actually have read this to me as a child when I was able to comprehend each word and everything, because that would have been nice. Oh yeah, I forgot. For the letter Z, let's find the ladybugs. I forgot to do that. Okay, no ladybugs over here. One ladybug. Two ladybug. Three ladybug. I think there's 3 ladybugs. And that's it. Okay, there could be 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting 4 now. How many ladybugs did you find? So, hope you enjoyed this video series for Big Thoughts for Little People, but ABCs to help you grow. Again, in the future, I recommend making sure you get good educational materials that have an audio. To learn how to talk properly, you need that distinct sound for each letter that you are speaking with in a language or an accent variation. For if you don't have that information, then you're going to be babbling. It's going to be hard to communicate with everyone around you. And that's what it has come across is there's massive miscommunication that's happening. People are not truly hearing me, what I'm saying. They're not understanding what I'm truly trying to say. No one really wants to help me, so I'm stuck in this babbling environment, and it's left up to other people's whim or control or power when they decide, oh yeah, we all need to get re-educated and learn how to talk properly and learn how to pronounce all these letters properly. When that information, the correct information comes to me, only then will I be able to really truly learn how to speak properly. But until then, I'm stuck in a babbling environment with drastic miscommunication, and it seems like people don't really understand what they're saying, because certain morals that I would deem as, yeah, that's 100% wrong, they're saying, oh, it's okay, you know, as they babble, as they talk wrong on purpose, and they think it's so much fun. But to me, it's not, because on some level, I'm understanding what they're talking about is really, really morally wrong, but because they probably have this attitude, oh, it's fine, I don't understand what I'm saying, I'm not saying anything wrong, because they don't actually understand what they're saying. And so they're pleading I didn't understand what I was saying, so I'm not hurting this individual. We're not hurting each other. Everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. Everything's super positive. We get to babble and have fun, and it's so much fun to babble, you know? But for me, it hasn't been fun at all. So, you know, if people think I'm having fun, I'm really not, you know, and I would like it to stop. But, you know, if people don't want to communicate, then you can't force them to communicate with you properly. And if people are selfish and they don't want to understand that they're doing something wrong that's actually hurting you, well, it's like, well, then you could end up being in a negative, toxic environment for a very long time. And that's what happened to me, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And they're saying eventually we're going to go to a better positive environment, but it doesn't seem like the negativity is ever going to end, because they don't want it to end, because they think they're in a positive environment already, and everything that comes out of their mouth is 100% positive, but they don't understand every word that they're speaking. So, or they don't understand the written words that they're trying to speak. And so it has created a super negative, toxic environment for me. And I can't wait for the day where I get real educational materials that teach me how to talk properly, so I understand what truly went wrong with these babbling sounds and a mixture of wrong sounds to wrong letters or wrong words and wrong definitions or sort of wrong definitions. I look forward to receiving the truth whenever that is, but I have a hard time believing that the ones that always existed would design a language and allow a language to be this bad. So I don't think the ones that always existed babbled or confounded the language. I think other people did that somehow. So I look forward to the truth, whatever the truth is. But people may be able to say complete sentences that may make sense, but that doesn't mean people understand what they're actually saying. So that's what I'm starting to comprehend more and more, is like, yeah, people don't understand what they're actually saying. They're not comprehending something. Because literally there's been times where I talk about I'm in this negative, toxic environment. I've gone through different kinds of abuse, and the people that are supposed to be the authority figures or the government officials, they're like, yeah, no crime has been committed. No, I don't believe you've actually gone through abuse. I'm not going to do anything to stop the abuse or get you out of this toxic, negative environment. I'm not going to actually do anything for you. So that must mean they really don't understand what I'm actually experiencing, what I'm actually going through. And so I am alone. So there have been voices of wisdom saying, oh yeah, you're in a time orb reality dimension combo. Is that the truth? And you're supposed to have some kind of paperwork where it tells you what's going on with other people in a different reality, what's going on with you in your reality if you happen to be in different places, but somehow can interact with each other. I don't have any of that proper paperwork, because people are babbling and saying, we believe you really do, so for some reason I can hear voices from a distance. But what is the truth? Until you get the evidence in front of your face, until you can do scientific experiments to prove what is going on, how are you supposed to just believe whatever voice? I do know from personal experience that something's majorly wrong, because people say, just be more positive. Well, when I try to be more positive, then it seems like a whole bunch of people or evil forces or evil individuals or babbling individuals that don't understand what they're saying, they curse me. And so me trying to be more positive doesn't mean I actually get more positivity in my life just by trying to be more positive. Because if people are babbling with negative words and negative concepts and they don't understand what they're saying or what they mean, then they're actually speaking those negative concepts over me for real somehow. So it is what it is. I look forward to the day when the truth true truth sets me free, not false information that people call the truth. Because if people are believing that false information is going to set you free, that is a lie. That is a falsehood. That is false doctrines. You only the truth, the legitimate truth, that is 100% the truth, will truly set you free. So I do need information to be given to me at some point. I don't know when that information is going to come to me. I don't know when it will be available to me. But that is pretty much my hope right now, because it's like, there was this misconception in the Christian false religion that the Lord God confounded the languages to make it so that people would stop sinning, that people would honestly look at stuff and understand what is wrong with sin, what is wrong with the negativity, so they could go back to this super positive heavenly environment, right? Well, the language is so confounded that I have the wrong sounds to the wrong letters, and so people aren't truly communicating with me. So it's like, it just seems like I'm never gonna get that heavenly positive environment if people are content to continue to speak wrong, because I thought the whole point was to evolve up, like intellectually, or religiously, morally, get rid of the sin, get rid of the bad morals, get rid of everything that you're doing wrong, so you could have that positive environment. And people are literally saying that the false religion is here to stay. The really bad morals in this religion that would be an abomination, they're like, no, this one isn't. They're saying something that should be an abomination isn't an abomination. So I'm being more broad and vague in this video for some reason, because I don't want to go over it over and over and over and over and over again, all of this stuff, because I say things on different channels and at different times depending on what I'm going over, because this is really an educational video for adults. But are people truly acting and behaving and speaking like true adults? Well, if people are all babbling and that's what they care about, is just babbling, they went back to being a child. I'm sorry. They're not acting, behaving, and speaking like a true adult, and I really needed to truly be educated after I lost my memory in full, and people didn't care to truly educate me properly. Well, they should have never declared themselves as my teachers, as adults, as my caregivers, as my family members, if they didn't actually want to treat me like a real child that needed to be re-educated. That's what I'm coming to the conclusion of. So there are definitely certain individuals where it's like, well, I guess we learned the hard way. Certain people you cannot trust to educate you properly if you have severe memory loss and you're exploring what it's like to be humbled, to be like a real child again in some way, where you have to relearn certain things over again. Certain people have proven that you can't trust them to provide and take care of you properly, and to give you genuine love, and to tell you the truth, because everyone wants to just speak false information to me, and they want to babble. That's what it seems. So, lesson learned. Certain people you can't trust in real life. it is what it is. People want to cater to their own whims. They want to do what they want to do in the moment. They do not want to think about the person who has severe memory loss or some form of memory loss. Because no one taught me who I really am. No one taught me who my real parents are. I have acting parents or people pretending to be my parents. And, it's like, hey, can we have a scientific test done to prove that you're my real parents? And they're literally like, ha ha ha, we're not gonna do that. So they don't care about the truth. They're okay with me going on and on and on and on. And I just have to believe. They just want me to believe whatever comes out of their mouth, even if they don't understand what's coming out of their mouth. No, you're gonna believe what we tell you to do, or you're gonna believe what we say is correct. You're gonna do what we tell you to do. We have all the power and control. And then you tell them to their face, yeah, you have all the power and control. And they're like, that's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, that's the evidence that I have. That's my personal experience, is everyone around me is dictating to me what they want me to do. Pretty much every second, every minute, every hour of every day. And literally, for the most part, they want me to do nothing. They don't even seem to care about me wearing clothes or getting the right nutrition. They do not care about me being able to learn how to speak properly. So I wish there were robots that would come to me and educate me and talk to me and tell me the truth of what's really going on, because I don't trust these living beings, these individuals that have done nothing but give me false information and taught me how to do everything wrong 100%. So be careful who your teachers are in the future, because if a teacher doesn't truly want to teach you how to speak properly, then they shouldn't be a teacher at all. And if a parent or someone who wants to pretend to be a parent does not want to teach you how to speak properly, then they shouldn't even pretend to be your parent or act like a parent to you, because literally their attitude is that's going to come across as, we don't care about you at all. We have the power. We're in control. Ha 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 ha. That's their attitude. So, sorry that this video is so negative. I wish I had proper education materials. I wish I could learn how to speak all these letters properly. But, if people don't want to teach you how to speak properly, you kind of have to cater to their whim. You have to do what they want you to do, because they have the power and control, because they took the power and control completely over me, So I can only accept that this is my negative, toxic environment that I'm in right now. And I do not have the ability to set myself free, because I think you would have to be able to speak properly the distinct sounds of every letter and know the proper definitions of the words to be able to speak a blessing over you that has power to bring positive changes into your life. And I do not. So again, sorry that this video has a lot of negative concepts. I'm very disappointed in life. I'm very disappointed with what's going on in my life. I'm very disappointed that I'm being treated with basically ill contempt. I'm tired of the curses. I'm tired of the negative environment. I want to go back to my real parents. I want to learn how to speak properly. I want to get out of this super negative environment. And even though that's what I want, it's in someone else's hands. It's in other people's hands. It's in their control they have the power, they have the control, but I have to believe at some point the negativity on some level will have to stop. That, probation will end and it'd be like, I'm sorry, you have hit your max limit of how long you can be in this super toxic environment without, at least robots that will help point you to a certain task to be like, this is how you level up so you can get out of this toxic negative environment. So I hope that some kind of robots will actually come in and be like, we are programmed to educate you properly. We're going to teach you how to talk and pronounce all these letters properly. So I am purposely programmed to talk wrong right now so you can understand the instructions, something like that. So that's probably what I need, is someone to send in robots to give me access to better information so I can learn how to pronounce each letter properly, learn how to talk properly, get words with the proper definition. And if this material that I've been using is all cursed, it's get away from this level of cursed material to here's original material, and it tells me the truth, the proper sounds of all the letters, the proper definitions and meanings of all the words, and I do whatever tasks that I need to do to level up, to get rid of this level of wrong morality, or wrong morals. I level up so we get rid of all these wrong morals, and then it's like, well, maybe something has to happen where separation 100% happens with the people who love to babble the wrong way without understanding, and they disappear and I disappear from them and we separate and we're no longer in each other's lives. Maybe that is the solution. So we will see what happens, but bottom line, if you don't have the right educational materials, if you don't have the audio, if you don't have the words and the words with the proper definition, then you will not be able to learn how to do anything correctly. And if you do anything sort of right, well, that means you're surviving. So until next time, hope you value true education in the future. So that is my takeaway from this. Value true education. So when the true education does come, I'm going to value it. It's going to be like a precious gem to me. It's going to be like $1 million to me. It could be like $1 trillion to me, true education, because to speak properly means that you will be able to bless yourself properly with true understanding. So again, until next time, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Until next time.